This is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, it's the leading cause of cancer deaths in both men and women. We'll reveal the type of cancer and why seniors need to pay special attention. Then, the Burning River Festival is more than a record-breaking bash. We'll toast the efforts to improve our environment. Do you speak health insurance? We'll translate terms to help you get the best bang for your buck. Plus, there are resources and services for seniors right here in our city. We'll tell you where to turn. And your trust may not be trustworthy in carrying out your wishes. We'll share important information. We promise.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Lung cancer. It's the leading cause of cancer deaths for both men and women. And as we age, our risk increases. Still think only smokers need to worry? Think again. Dr. Deborah Bruno is here with the latest information on diagnosis and treatment for lung cancer. Dr. Bruno is in the Cancer Care Center at Metro Health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you for having me here.
So if you've never smoked, do you really have to worry about the symptoms of lung cancer?
Unfortunately, yes. Lung cancer still can happen in people who never smoked, including people who are exposed to what we call passive smoking, so just the smoke of cigarettes.
Just in the air.
Just in the air, they still can develop lung cancer. And, but for the most part, smokers are the ones who are at the greatest risk for developing the disease.
Okay.
Smokers do have more than 20 times the risk for developing lung cancer compared to non-smokers.
Wow.
In fact, more than 80% of the lung cancers are related to tobacco exposure. But the good news is that if you quit smoking, then your risks progressively decline, and more often so after 15 years of quitting smoking.
Well, there's hope then, right?
Absolutely.
So what are the symptoms of lung cancer?
So they can vary. Smokers usually cough, and if there is a change in the pattern of cough, more sputum production, or perhaps blood in the sputum, that may be a cause for concern. People who developed chest pains and the chest pains just don't go away, or unexpected weight loss, symptoms such as bone pain, headaches, or increased difficulty breathing, they can all be signs of or symptoms of lung cancer. But the problem is sometimes when the symptoms develop, the cancer is far advanced and already has metastasized to other parts of the body.
Oh, that's a shame. So there really isn't a screening test, is there?
Well, there wasn't up until recently.
Oh, good.
Yes, so now we do have something that we call low-dose screening CT, which is a CAT scan that is offered and recommended for smokers or people who have quit smoking within the last 15 years, and that has been proven to decrease mortality rates by lung cancer by 20%. So
wow, that's good news there. But no matter when or how you detect it, you got to treat it. So are we talking chemo or radiation, or what is the treatment?
So it all depends on how far advanced the cancer is. If the cancer is still localized to the lungs, then often surgery is the best treatment. We sometimes follow surgery with chemotherapy in order to try and kill any potential cancer cells that may be left in the body. If the cancer is still confined to the chest but is no longer surgically resectable, we often combine chemotherapy and radiation in order to try and get rid of it. Sometimes if the cancer is still localized but the person cannot have surgery because doesn't have lung reserve to have part of the lung removed, then we can offer what we call radiosurgery, where we provide a very high dose of radiation just to the tumor and often completely kill the tumor that way.
Oh, that's good. But what if it has spread to other parts of the body?
Then the goals of the treatment become what we call palliation. So we try and shrink the tumor for as long as we can while providing the best possible quality of life for the person. This is often done with chemotherapy, but up until recently we started to develop new treatments. We have what we call targeted treatments that target specific genetic alterations that certain lung tumors have. And some patients are candidates for that. Those are usually pills, very well tolerated, And we also have what we call immunotherapies, medications that can help the immune system of the person actually fight the lung cancer, and those are not chemotherapy either. So we are having advances in the treatment, coming up with drugs that are better tolerated, highly effective, and the overall survival rates for lung cancer have improved over the past years.
Oh, that's really good to hear. We can breathe easy when we hear that advances are being made in the fight against the deadliest cancer, lung cancer. And we thank Dr. Bruno for sharing them with us today.
Thank you.
To learn more, call Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or log on to www.metrohealth.org. Next, a party with a purpose. But first, you could say Louis Pasteur was a picky eater. We know he made milk safe for us to drink through a process named for him, pasteurization. But his commitment to battling bacteria extended to when he ate with associates. As a dinner guest, how did Louis measure if the meal was safe to swallow? We'll serve the answer when we return.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
Louis Pasteur didn't trust a personal taste test to tell if his friend's food was free from a harmful fate. Instead, he would peer at each portion on his plate through his portable microscope and then make up his mind if the course was safe to consume. For Louis, a meal meant BYOM, bring your own microscope.
Over the years, you've all heard about the jokes when the mighty Cuyahoga River caught fire. Not what we in here in Cleveland want to be known for. So how do you turn that around? Well, one unique way is to advocate for the environment by putting on a Great Lakes Burning River Fest. How does a party serve this purpose? Adam Rittenspach is here to tell us. Adam is the Community Events Coordinator for the Great Lakes Brewing Company, which is one of the sponsors of the fest. So welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. How are you?
Good. So let me get this straight. We're not celebrating the burning of the river.
No,
we're
absolutely
celebrating
not.
what has happened environmentally since that time,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, we are honoring who we were as a city and now how far we've come. A lot of people don't realize when the fire happened in 1969 that Cleveland was already trying to clean up our rivers. We were one of the few cities doing that. So when we got this national recognition, we became the mistake on the lake.
Yeah.
We actually led the charge for the Clean Water Act as well as the Environmental Protection Agency.
Okay, and that's what the festival is celebrating,
That's what
right?
we're doing, yeah.
So how do we celebrate?
It's great. People come down. It's 2 days worth of live music. We have 2 stages. We have fresh local food from local chefs. Chef demos, really great. That's always popular. And of course, plenty of Great Lakes beer. So it's a big party down on the water. It's really great.
And it's a fundraiser, right? So what does the money go towards?
All of the proceeds of the festival goes to the Burning River Foundation, which since 2007 has awarded around $400,000 to organizations that are dedicated to improving, restoring, and conserving the freshwater resources we have. The Great Lakes, that's our national, that's our national landmark in this region, so it's very vital. And they do great work. We've given money to the Metro Parks, which have installed water bottle filling stations, the Alliance for the Great Lakes. We try and support any organization that's dedicated to, protecting our freshwater resources.
Okay, and when is the fest happening?
It is August 28th and 29th. It's from 6 to 11. It's a rain or shine event. Takes
Where?
place down at the historic Coast Guard Station on Whiskey Island. Amazing land site. It's right where the Cuyahoga River is. Lake Erie, of course, is there, and it's a beautiful view of the Cleveland skyline. It's a really special place.
Okay, and my understanding with the Coast Guard station, it's really not funded anymore, but it's a cool place.
It is an amazing site that so many Clevelanders don't even know is around. It was in use from 1942, but then they stopped using it in 1976, and since then it's just started to decay away. But there's so much potential there that we want to see that site be saved. It's owned by the city of Cleveland, but we want to spread awareness so that we can get some funds to restore that building. And that is what the foundation is focusing on this year, is restoring that great landmark.
So what's the admission price that goes to help restore it?
It's going to be $15. You can purchase those tickets online. We will have some tickets at the gate, but we are expecting it to sell out. So I would encourage everyone to get online and get those tickets fast.
Okay, I got to be there just to have some of this beer, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to have Burning River Pale Ale. We'll have our Oktoberfest, and Great Lakes is also going to be debuting our brand new beer, which we're very excited about.
Big secret, huh?
That's right. Yeah. So, yep. So come on down if you want to get that first taste. But it's a really great time. Everybody that gets down there, they see, how beautiful the water is. They see this cool landmark, and they say, "Yeah, got to come back next year." So we hope to see you.
Sounds good.
Great.
So when you attend the Great Lakes Burning River Fest, you'll be celebrating and supporting the work that has been done to improve our environment while having a blast and a few beers. To find out more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Adam Rickersbach for inviting us to join the party.
Thanks for having me.
For more information about the Burning River Fest, visit www.burningriverfest.org. Next, getting the most out of your health insurance. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. What's involved in estate planning? Find out at free seminars offered by the law offices of Solomon, Steiner, and Peck. In addition to powers of attorney and living wills, learn about a possible new healthcare planning option called MOLST. The seminars will be held Monday, August 24th at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Inn in Independence, Tuesday, August 25th at 1 p.m. at the Doubletree Hilton in Beechwood, and Wednesday, August 26th at 2 p.m. at the Middleburg Heights Community Center. For more information or to reserve your seat, call 1-888-236-5173 or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Need an interpreter to understand your health insurance? We're here with help. Today, with the assistance of Dr. Robert Reznicki, we're going to test you on terms that can translate into getting the best care at big savings. Dr. Reznicki is the Chief Medical Officer for Medical Mutual of Ohio. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Now, you see this from all sides, as a physician, as working with a health insurance company, and as a consumer. So what's the most important thing to know to get the most bang for the buck out of your health insurance?
Well, the most important thing is, as soon as this show is over today, get out your certificate, learn about it, and figure out where you should go for care. And you're right, Lori, I am in a unique position to see all the different sides of this. And keep in mind, this is a different type of insurance than your auto insurance or your house insurance. It's really very different for two reasons. Number one, statistics show you are going to use it this year. You or someone in your family will use it. And number two, we're not talking about a car here. We're talking about your life.
Yeah, your body, your being. So let's start by tackling some terminology that's important. So give us some of those words.
You bet. And this is very complicated. Some of these terms that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about deductible and co-insurance and copay. And so some of those are very important terms that we're going to talk about. And now deductible has to do with what you need to pay first before anything is paid for by your insurance. You have to pay that right up front. And there's a premium. Just like with any other type of insurance, there's a premium that you have, and you pay that. Most people pay that monthly. Now, there's a couple that are a little trickier. One is a co-insurance. And with the co-insurance, what happens is that every time the doctor's bill comes, let's say it's on $100, you would have to pay a certain percentage of that, and that's in your certificate. You need to look at that. Also, oftentimes when you go to a provider, you have to pay a flat fee called a copay. So there are some important terms for you to know, and we'll talk a little bit later in the program about network versus not being in the network, and the fees can be different for those depending upon whether or not you go to see a network doctor.
Okay, so all of these things can have a really big impact on the wallet. So you mentioned in-network versus out-of-network. Let's cover that one. I think that's a biggie.
Sure, and even for our Medicare people out there, if you think you just have Medicare and you don't have a network, well, you do, because a number of our providers have determined that they don't wish to participate in that program, and if you go to one of those, you're going to have a big bill and it's going to be a nasty surprise. But if you have Medicare Advantage or if you have a commercial insurance, almost always you will have a network. Think of the network as a partnership between your health plan and the providers, whether it's the doctor or the hospital. And they've gotten together and they've set up some agreements to protect you as the customer, or as you the member, or as you the patient, to give you a better rate and also to give you certain protections about where that bill comes from and how much that bill will be. So there are really some important things. And as a doctor, we also do some quality checks as part of people who are getting care in networks. We usually try to set up our arrangements with people that we think are, or hospitals that we think are quality providers.
Okay. So choosing in-network is less money, maybe better quality. But what if you have an emergency? Do you just head to the nearest hospital and don't worry about all of that?
Well, if it's a life-threatening situation, or even if the ambulance comes, they're not going to ask you about your network. And in that case, you go where they take you, or you go to the closest place. But on the other hand, if you have the opportunity to plan ahead, like we hope you will do just after this program, you can find the clinic or the doctor or the hospital that's in your network that can work to save you money and has been checked out by your insurance company.
All right, great tips. We must become wedded to the idea that we need to understand our health insurance so that in sickness and in health, we are getting quality care at the most affordable price. My thanks to Dr. Reznicki for joining us today.
Find out more about Medical Mutual of Ohio by visiting their website, www.medmutual.com/2015options, or call 1-866-488-3266. Next, important options for older adults. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to show you how to strengthen those ever-important shoulder muscles. You ready to go?
I am absolutely ready to go.
Let's do it. We have exercise bands here. This is called a front raise using our exercise band. What we're going to do is we're going to step on the center of the band. Okay, we want to again offset our feet so that way we make sure we stay nice and balanced. Maintain very good posture. All we're going to do is simply bring the handle of the band up to about shoulder height and then lower it back down to your thigh, okay? Again, we're looking for 15 to 20 repetitions on this one. Use slow and controlled movements and make sure you're breathing. How you feeling, Lori?
Oh, that's tough.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
and
this is a
actually,
good
Lori
one.
is doing a very good variation of this exercise where she's using both arms together. So you can do either individually or like Lori's doing here, you can do them both together.
Cut time in half.
That's right, fantastic. All right, everybody, 12 to 15, 2 to 3 sets. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
We're living longer, and that's great. But many seniors face increased financial and personal challenges as they age. Thankfully, there are resources available to help, including right here in Cleveland. Jane Fumick is the director of the Cleveland Department of Aging, and she's here to highlight services offered by our own hometown. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You've got quite a list of programs that your department offers, but let's start with one, the Economic Security Case Management.
Thank you. We have a project called the Economic Security Project, and through this project, we assist older adults who are having difficulty managing their finances, getting behind credit card debt. We have a partnership with different agencies. This is a signed agreement with those agencies to assist. So for example, we would assess an older person's needs and then link them with the correct partner. So if they have high credit card debt, we would link them with the correct partner for that. If they're in foreclosure or looking like that they may be near, link them with the correct partner. Then we follow up with both the senior and the partner agency and measure how much progress we've made. And it's a popular program and has helped over 1,000 people since we started.
Well, that's excellent. But unfortunately, a lot of people with the financial issues end up facing homelessness. So you have some programs for that too, right?
We do have a program that is the homeless prevention program. And what we do through this program, we have a social worker that provides case management services to try to keep the older adult housed. The last thing we want to see is an older adult in a shelter situation. And so through case management, sometimes seeking financial assistance for the senior, we try to maintain housing for them or help them to get relocated.
All right. So, but even if a senior can afford to stay in their house, sometimes the upkeep can be just overwhelming. You know, how you have help for people who just can't keep everything going?
Yes, the programs do have specific eligibility criteria, but we do have help for those living in their own homes. One example is the Senior Homeowner Assistance Program, and that's major home repairs. Another is chore assistance, like mowing the lawn, shoveling snow. That particular program, we will are at capacity now, but we'll have open enrollment in early 2016. We have two newer programs. One is for tree assistance. We are the Forest City, okay, but sometimes a big branch comes real close to the roof or is touching the roof, so we hazardous tree assistance on the senior's personal property we can provide. And then finally, we do have a bed bug assistance program for those suffering from that type of infestation.
Okay, and another program I want to make sure we talk about is the Cleveland Care Call. So tell us about that.
Sure. Cleveland Care Calls is a program where we check on seniors that are registered for the service on a daily basis. We send a call out automatically. All the senior needs to do is pick up the phone and follow directions. Press 1 if you're doing okay. If they do not answer their call, the system calls them back a number of times. And if by the end of the day we haven't made clear contact with the senior or their emergency person to check on them, then we would go out and check on them to be sure that they are all right.
Good safety plan. And there's some important programs also that are fun events for people. So tell us about a couple of those.
Okay. We have our annual Senior Day in May, our biggest event with over 2,000 seniors present. But we have coming up on September 23rd our Cleveland Senior Walk. We typically have over 1,000 walkers, and we're doing this walk to promote exercise, good nutrition, healthy lifestyles, fall prevention, and the importance of getting the flu shot. So it's a age strong, live long theme, and that will be September 23rd, and we welcome seniors throughout the community to join us for that. It's on Mall C, right next door to City Hall.
At what time?
Okay, that will start at 8:45 with health screenings, and the walk will kick off at 10 a.m.
All right, sounds great. As you can tell, there are numerous services offered by the Cleveland Department of Aging, and we didn't even get to everything. To find out more, use the information that's coming up next, and stay tuned to Golden Opportunities in the coming weeks to learn more about senior resources throughout our area. My thanks to Jane Fumick for joining us today.
Learn more by calling the Cleveland Department of Aging at 216-664-2833 or click to www.cleveland-oh.gov. Next, is your trust not to be trusted?
Here at Metro Health, you know you matter when it matters most. Here, we are the city's best at preparing for the world's worst. Here, we are the only verified burn center in Ohio for adults and children. Here, you'll find exceptional clinicians with extraordinary hearts. So the work we do here at Metro Health makes an impact here, out here, and right here. Metro Health, we're here for you, for all of you.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back to answer the question, when can you revoke an irrevocable trust? if you take the time to have a trust drafted to handle your wishes upon your demise, you would assume that no one can change it. However, Ohio law does allow your trust to be changed, possibly in ways you didn't anticipate. Here to discuss this issue is my law partner, Michael Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
Hey there, Mike. So if you set up a trust that handles your estate plan and what you want happening, how can anybody make any changes?
Well, as you know, most trusts, when people set up a living trust, on their death, the trust becomes irrevocable, and then the trustee has a fiduciary duty to follow the terms of the trust. However, in certain situations, a court can order the trust terms to be changed or the trust to be modified if all the beneficiaries agree.
So how does the court decide whether to terminate or modify a trust?
Well, what they do is they look at the material purpose of the trust, and if they feel that it's appropriate, they can terminate the trust. If they feel that doesn't impact the material purpose, they can modify the trust. If they don't think that it impacts the material purpose. And by the way, the court can do this even if all the beneficiaries don't agree. As long as most of them agree, they can still change the document.
Wow. How do you make sure a court doesn't terminate or modify your trust?
Well, some people suggest that what you try to do is put in the trust itself an explanation of the purpose of the trust, so that maybe the court will be influenced more to know what the goal of the trust is. But there are some provisions in Ohio law, notwithstanding what you do, the trust can be changed.
All right, give us an example.
Well, I'll give you one example. Let's say the trust is less than $100,000. Under the Ohio law, if the trustee determines it's not cost effective to still have that trust, they can liquidate the trust. You can't do anything about that. You can put nothing in the trust document that will change that. Let me give you another example. Let's say a husband's trust provides on his death, the income's available to his surviving spouse, and then after that it goes to the children. If it's under $100,000, the trustee, without court approval, can say it's too expensive to have the trust, liquidate the trust, and then the trustee makes a decision who gets the money. They look at it and try to follow what the terms of the trust to divvy it up between the surviving spouse and the children.
Doesn't seem right.
No.
You might think that your estate plan will be followed by your heirs, but as you can see, it's harder to do this than you thought. If you have any questions, please call my law partner, Michael Solomon.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization, or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, tune in to find out what's new on television. We'll preview the fall season and explore the almost unending options for finding favorite new shows. You say Golden Opportunities is your favorite program? Well, we'll share new ways to contact and connect with us. We've made it even easier. And if your smile has gone into hiding, we'll find ways that you can begin to grin again. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.